when you think of the performance today from Barcelona, much more so than the quality or much more so than the execution or much more so than scoring 3 goals, it wasn't about the quality. It was more about the will of Barcelona to win a game that matters and win a game that we consider to be, quote-unquote, important against important teams. And this would be an important team in La Liga against Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid coming in with all the momentum, and Barcelona willed themselves to a win. Even when at 2-1, when they're just kind of barely hanging on, you're seeing players that usually are not the sort of guys that we think of as defensive stalwarts, guys that really enjoy the defending part of the game. Barcelona was grinding. And Barcelona was grinding with a lot of players off the field that were struggling because of injury, because they're just coming back from injury. Dani Olmo had to come off. Pedri had to come off. Rafinha came off. Lamine Yamal was off. And so now you're out there with Gerard Martin, Andro Fernandez, and Alejandro Valde, and you're like, oh boy, Pau Garcia is leading the line defensively, barely hanging on. And yet you find a way not only to hang on, but score a 3rd goal. You win it 3-1. And what I would say, in general, as a whole, there was only one team on that field trying to win a game today, trying to win the game, trying to play to win the game. That was Barcelona. Now, again, not necessarily with a whole lot of quality over the 90 minutes, but willing themselves to a win. Whereas Atletico Madrid, I don't know about this group. You're coming in on a 6-game winning streak in La Liga with all the momentum. What else could you want? Going against a Barcelona team that has some injury issues, that has absences. The game is 1-1, and your attacking players are not even participating in the play. You asked me about Julian Alvarez in the pregame. Was he out there? Not really. It wasn't until very late in the match where they started swinging balls, hoping that Alexander Sørloth gets on the end or something. From Barcelona's perspective, big 3 points, you will yourself to a win. It is something that I think Hansi Flick can build upon, the desire, the energy with which this team played today. Whereas Atletico Madrid, just when you start believing that maybe there is something there, not quite.
Let's get the perspective from our boys in the booth today. We had the 2 Robbos. Let's go over to Rob Palmer and Stewart Robson right now with their take on what we saw today.
Thanks, Kay. Strong words there from Moreno, Stuart. And you've been in the change room many, many times in your career, and the coaches will look into the eyes of the players there and say, did you leave anything out there? The Barcelona players, they ran a marathon. They ran themselves into the ground tonight. It's fair to say that Atletico Madrid left something out there, didn't they?
I'm sure they tried very hard. They worked very hard, but there wasn't that belief that they were going to go and score goals. There wasn't the belief that they were going to go and create things. And that was disappointing. You know, when they were playing with a back 5 at times, they were too deep and they didn't have enough players in the forward areas. We didn't see enough of Alvarez, as Ali's just said. Ali's summary of the game was absolutely superb because Barcelona didn't play fantastic football today. There was good movement from Rafinha. There was some good play from Pedri. Yamal had, 1 or 2 good moments. But it was their determination. Not always their organisation, because they still allowed people to run in behind them. But overall, that will to win, that determination, that grit, that determination, and a crowd that got right behind them that won them the game tonight.
When you normally say a team played like champions, you mean they've played flamboyant, scintillating football, wing to wing, tearing the opposition apart. But championships and titles are won when you know you're maybe not at your best and your squad is stretched and your team is stretched and you're having to change your tactics mid-game as well. And that could be such a significant game tonight. Wasn't a classic performance from Barcelona. Oh my goodness, they had to dig in.
Well, that last 20 minutes, and then he's just mentioned it again, Rafinha was off the field, Pedri was off the field, Dani Olmo was off the field. The 2 centre-halves aren't particularly good in the air. They had no height in the team, apart from when Christensen came on. So any balls played into the box was going to be a threat. But what they did do well, they just stuck together, they got the crowd behind them, and they showed great determination. So fair play to Barcelona. I think they deserved the game, but I was really disappointed with Atletico Madrid.
And the thing is, when the opportunities fell their way tonight, Barcelona, they were, apart from the Lewandowski penalty, of course, they were clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, Rafinha, with his brilliant finish, looks as though he's going to play it with his left foot into the far corner, sweeps it past the goalkeeper, scores the goal. Dani Olmo, we talked about him against Alaves scoring 2 goals, and we just about mentioned him before the game, but the finish was excellent. He got into a good position, he wrapped his foot round it, got it into the far corner, superb. And Ferran Torres, I don't think had touched the ball, he chased around and closed people down, I think that was almost his first touch of the ball. Good finish.
And significant as well, Rashford came on towards the end, and he had to. There's one moment where he could have gone for the corner flag, and he made things happen, didn't he?
Yeah, and the other thing about, and Ali sort of half mentioned it, about players who you don't expect to do defensive work. Right late on in the game, the corner came in, Rashford won the ball in the air, he then ran 30 yards and closed the ball down and stopped it being played into the box again. That's something you don't expect from Rashford, but he did it today, and it was great from a Barcelona point of view. And
it was one of the nights, wasn't it, where it was the foot soldiers rather than the generals. It was those that are kind of in the back of the band rather than those front of the stage that won it for them tonight. The likes of Eric Garcia, the unsung heroes in there, Garcia, who played way beyond his 18 years of age at centre-half.
Of course, but the player that really, really impressed me again was Rafinha. The movement, when you're at the stadium, you can see his movement. He was the player that just changes everything with his runs forward. And Ali said it, he got in behind the opposition.
Now, they'll be in there, they're battered and bruised. The people are going to be working the hardest now, actually, going to be the medical department of Barcelona, because Olmo sprung his shoulder in his celebration.
Well, you think you don't know he sprung his shoulder, you think so?
Yeah. Well, what a big night. It's put the pressure now on Real Madrid tomorrow night. It's put a distance between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. My goodness, it's been a battle here tonight, Kate.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. Great call as always. And with regards to some of the players who came off, Rafinha has said afterwards that for him and Pedri, it is just tiredness. We obviously hope that is the case as well. We also have our team back pitch side. Our audio issues are done and dusted and behind us, I am told. So let's go out to Gemma and to Luis, because this was a big result for Barcelona when all is said and done, Gemma.
Yes, Kay, definitely. It's the first big win of the new Camp Nou, and it's the first time they managed to win a big team this season. And overall, Luis, I think it's the first dominant performance during the, okay, maybe not 90, but 80 minutes of this Hansi Flick Barca second era.
Yeah, exactly. And to win a game like this, is you're not expected to dominate during 90 minutes. It's going to be very difficult because in front of you, you got a very talented team, very well organized, strong, energetic, and with a manager on the side that he was trying to find the way of beating that high line of Barcelona. And Simeone tried all over the play, changing players, changing positions, and they couldn't manage. And I think that's something very good to hear from Barcelona perspective. A dominant performance and also a solid performance, even though the Atletico Madrid scored that first goal with Alejandro. They managed in the second half when they were controlling the game and scoring the second one. Atletico Madrid start trying to find that equalizer, and they hold at the back. They changed two of the most important players on the field today and overall the season with Pedri and Rafinha. And we thought, with those two players, the dominance is going to be get away because Pedri give you that confidence on the ball and Rafinha give you the leadership to press high on the field. Without them, Barcelona managed to control Atletico Madrid, to don't concede, and to score that third one.
And it's especially important because let's remember that Atletico was coming in a momentum, the best of the season, 6 wins in a row. They managed to score that early goal, and Barcelona, they were pushing as always. I would mention an omnipresent Pedri. Rafinha was giving so much depth. It was like a knife in that left side of the attack of Barcelona, and overall, dominant performance, but especially something to start building this team.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency is what is going to tell you this Barcelona is going to be able to challenge, not only for LaLiga, that I'm sure that they are going to be until the last games, but the Champions League, I think, is going to be that challenge when the big games arrive, when the toughest part of the season, that is in March, February, March, arrive, that you're going to be or going to have that consistency, that confidence on the team. The reaction of Barcelona was fantastic. Barcelona is always going to play with the same way, going forward, pressing high, with that high line, with that intensity, with that quickness of the ball. And after conceding that first goal, they never changed. They reacted well, and in the end, I think they worth today those 3 points.
We were looking at the starting 11 with Gerard Martin being center back against a big team for the first time. He got that yellow orange.
Yeah, but he did
card.
a fantastic job. There was a fantastic challenge into the box with Solo, yellow card, and he managed to get the ball away. So today I think that we can say that he did a fantastic job together with another very young talent that to me impressed me once again, Garcia. Today I think he got the gallon to say, listen, I'm young, might be this season not consistent enough, but today I'm going to be the main man at the back, and he did an outstanding job today.
And it's a lot of credit for Barcelona, because let's remember that Atletico have only conceded 11 goals so far this season. Kay, everybody is happy. You've seen Kat. She's happy as well. But now back to you.
Listen, it's not me talking about Pedri. It's
it.
Jules Koundé talking about Pedri. And as Sid is about to ask a question and he mentions the name of Pedri, the first reaction by Jules Koundé is to smile. And of course it is. Because if you're an outside back, if you're a center back and you have this guy in front of you, then you know he's going to resolve a problem for you. You give him the ball, you know he's going to find spaces, you know he's going to make the right decision, you know he can find a pass himself, he can get himself out of pressure by dribbling, or he can actually find a final pass as he did for the goal for Rafinha. He also described him as very complete. And I said in the pregame, and again, I'll repeat that because I think it's worth saying it again. He is a blend of Xavi and Andres Iniesta, and that's high praise. But you look at what his game is all about, and he does have the awareness of space around him, just like Xavi used to do, and how he always found an open space where he could connect to the next pass. But he also has the dribbling ability of Andres Iniesta, that when he gets into tight areas, he can dribble out of those tight areas, he can dribble away from pressure, and has enough quality in his attacking game to find a final pass or to provide a final touch. He is, again, a complete player that, in my estimation, and I've been saying this, I've been very consistent about it for years now, he is right now the best midfielder in the world. And some would argue Vitinha and this guy and that guy. I'll take Pedri. I'll take Pedri because he gives me so much as a team defensively, as a team offensively, and as an outside back, in this case Jules Koundé, he gives me an outlet. Just give that guy the ball. He'll resolve the problem.
Let's get our final thoughts from the pitchside team. Do you think this can be a turning point then, Gemma, given what we've seen from Barcelona, that today they dug deep, they got the result, and Real Madrid can't catch them tomorrow?
It could be. Even though, till now, what really was a turning point, at least in La Liga, was that defeat at the Bernabeu. We will see, but I think that the best possible news as well is what just Hansi Flick said, that both Rafinha and Pedri were substituted just out of precaution.
Yeah, exactly, and how important they were for the team the first 60 minutes. And Mario Suarez was next to me talking. He was complaining, why are they changing right now Rafinha and Pedri? And I think the importance of Hansi Flick, he's got confidence enough. He knows that the league is going to be very long. It's still a lot of players to come, and you need to keep these players as much as possible rested, in well shape, because if you want to win a trophy, a big part of the success of this team, it comes from those two players.
Yeah, one of the successes of Hansi Flick staff is that they have this humongous Excel with all the minutes, all the effort, monitoring all the time. So they try to get as less injuries as they can, even though this season has been especially damaging for them. So turning point today for Barca?
I think is as we say here in Spain, a punch on the table. I think they make that statement. They are ready to fight. Of course, again, consistency is going to say if this Barcelona is going to become as favorite as we thought in the beginning of the season. But still, I think we'll still need to wait a little bit. Barcelona is growing. Barcelona is improving. But I'm sure that we're going to still find some games where the high line has got problems, with they commit mistakes, and hopefully we can see them not very often. But I think there was still time to and things to improve.
Last time they traveled to Sevilla, we have probably seen the worst Barcelona of the season. This weekend they go to the neighbors, to Betis, to La Cartuja. Do you expect a performance like tonight's?
I think that when you play like this against a strong team, it gives you that confidence back. And I'm expecting, we were expecting a good performance today, a good display. And I think that is going to ensure all the players, you can do it, you can control the games, you can manage to be solid at the back, you can manage to keep the team informed and creating chances. Now it's time to do it consistently.
Next time you will get the prediction right. This time
Almost there, almost. I was angry with
Fernando.
Ferran Torres. I said, no, it's good enough with 2-1, but...
Okay, back to you, okay.
Thank you, Gemma. He was trying to be too conservative. However, he is our intrepid explorer. Luis, before we let you go, you're headed off to Bilbao, right, for the game tomorrow?
Yes, Kate. We're going tomorrow early in the morning, so we'll be there in Bilbao.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing.
Is he going to give us a preview or not? That's it. The preview is that he's going to be
I
there.
didn't want to ask me. I didn't know.
There's not going to be another draw, is it, for Real Madrid, Luis?
No, I expect not. I think that we're going to see goals, and I'm expecting Real Madrid to do well. I think Athletic Club is not in the best moment right now, and Real Madrid needs a good performance if they want to keep on going with the race, and much more. Xabi Alonso needs a good result to get back the confidence on the players.